r/AskReddit. What would you say is the one thing you can't forgive a person for? My mom forgetting I had cancer and never once called me for 9 months during my treatment. She was never around anyways and would forget my birthday, so I guess I should have expected it. Haven't talked to her in about a year. I don't need that toxicity in my life. Edit. Thank you for the silver. I just want to say thank you to everyone. It's amazing to see so many caring and loving people. Just so everyone knows, I'm about 10 months cancer free. And I have to say, even though it was an extremely terrifying and heartbreaking experience, I'm glad I went through it. I'm a much stronger person with a more positive outlook on life. Or at least I try, lol. My father calling the police on me after his girlfriend moved in and he changed the locks while all my stuff was in the house still. Breaking the trust you had in them, even when you gave them a second chance. I've given people far too many second chances, to the point that I'm even skeptical about even giving second chances anymore, since I know I'll just be hurt in the long run. Not simply doing something bad once, but doing it on purpose, enjoying it, and continuing to do it. A person can't be forgiven until they've stopped for good or honestly fight the urge to do it again. My wife's family taking my distress at losing my wife at 39 as weakness and trying to take advantage to get whatever they could. Nope, can't forget that one. My father cheated on my mom when she had stage 4 cancer. I was 23 at the time and ended up giving up my apartment and moving back home to take care of her. She had squamous cell carcinoma on her foot, so they had to amputate most of her leg and she was in a lot of pain. One night I heard them arguing and he said, well, I can't get it from you, so I'll have to get it somewhere else. He ended up spending most of his time at the house of some woman he met from the neighborhood. My brothers, who never so much as visited our mom during the time she was sick, tell me I'm overreacting and I should just get over it. So long as I'm drawing breath, I'll never forgive that son of a bitch for treating my mom that way, and I'll continue to be estranged from my brothers too. My stepmom cheating on my dad. He's such a good guy and has done so much for her, including adopting her son from a previous marriage, and she fucking destroyed him. Using a person's kindness for their own gain. Hurting anyone that can't defend themselves. It's an extremely cowardly act. Marrying a family member's rapist, knowingly. I had a hysterectomy at the ripe age of 32 and never had a chance to have children with my husband. My sister is an alcoholic and she gets very mean when she's drunk. She was upset with me one evening and she was leaving me message after message because I wouldn't pick up. I listened to one I probably shouldn't have. She said, you will never know what it's like to have children. You wouldn't have been a good mom. Pretty much saying I deserve it. She's 48 and knows better. But I don't think I can forgive her. She goes too far. But she's in rehab now for her 10th time. The father of my child cheated on me with my mum. They are now living together as a couple. I can never forgive them. Edit. You guys have flawed me. None of my posts have ever got this much attention. Thanks for your kind words and your funny jokes making me smile, and thanks so much for the gold. Yes, I do have custody of my son. I work 2 jobs so he can thrive, and it's a real struggle, but I'm keeping it together. He still sees my mum and my ex once or twice a week, but as much as it kills me, I can't cut them off from my son's life. If I remove a loving father from my 2-year-old's life, that makes me the real deadbeat. Things may change though. The process I'm going through gets more and more bitter with each day, and I simply can't look at them. Above all of this comes my child, and I must hold it together for him. Other than the obvious, committing a violent or sexual offense, close friends or family suddenly ghosting me. It's cruel to leave someone twisting in the wind. Sack up and tell me that you don't want to be a part of my life for whatever reason, and then move on. Pedophilia. I've cut off my own family for this reason and I don't regret it. Terrorizing me emotionally by strongly implying that you are going to commit suicide because something that I did was an inconvenience to you, then purposely avoiding my calls and messages when I desperately try to contact you, then acting as though you never intended to worry me but do it all again in a few months anyway. Humiliating me horrifically over the course of multiple years that led me to develop crippling mental health and acting like just because you were a teenager it means nothing. I don't think I'll ever be able to forgive my older brothers for telling me I was stupid for being raped. The texts kept coming through. What were you wearing? He probably assumed you wanted it, and I don't know why you wouldn't go to the police. How do I know you aren't lying about it happening in the first place? The older one's wife texted me a few days later telling me how disappointed she was that I didn't tell her I was raped. I thought we were sisters. Guess not. My mother orchestrating the adoption of my child to my aunt. Haven't seen my son in 8 years. Before anyone asks, she ran a campaign of lies against me to all the family and threatened to have me bodily harmed should I defy her. I was Baker acted with her signature and she kidnapped my son to take him to his new parents. Needless to say, I moved continents and I'm now working on building my self-confidence and independence. Saying, if you ever need help, just let me know. I'll let people know I needed help. They never had the time. This comes from raising a special needs kid and desperately needing time to get errands done, or maybe having someone else step in for one bath time so I could rest my back. When my son died I wouldn't let any of them offer me anything. No, I don't want your damn casseroles and no, I don't want you coming back to my house. Stay the hell away because it's what you did best while he was still alive and living at home.